one game, that happened 40 years ago in a small little community in, upstate New York, and to me, that's probably the bigger picture. We're talking about this hockey game, and so that indicates that obviously had a big impact on, the individuals that were involved in it, the city, the community, but probably bigger, the entire country.
Growing up, obviously, we all watched the movie, we all know the story. As kids, especially hockey players, that's always, growing up, one of the best movies to watch when you're with all your friends on the road and things like that. And when I was getting recruited and you have Mark Johnson calling you, it's pretty special.
I remember it like it was yesterday. So when I listen to Mark talk, or I listen to Mike Eruzione or John Harrington or Mike Ramsey, I shake, just because that sporting event was more significant, meant more to me than any other event that I've seen or played in.
He's just a real friendly, nice guy, humble. He doesn't even talk about it really at all with us. It's about us, it's about our team. It's not about him and his past, I guess, for him. And that's really awesome to see how humble he is, even with all the accomplishments he's had.
And so when I went to Pittsburgh, I remember getting off the plane there, and we didn't have the security in airports that we have now, yeah. But all of a sudden I get out of the plane, and all of a sudden all these cameras are in front of you. And they want a piece of you. Right. And so, you're
because
going...
of what had happened.
Because of what had happened. And so you're getting, a limousine ride down to your hotel, and, there's cameras there. And so you go the next day to practice, there's cameras there. So that experience is tough to beat.
Yeah.
I've won a bunch of national championships with my women's team. But just the magnitude, the impact, the meaning, the longevity of it.
Yeah, 40 years.
And how many people that it impacted, it's extremely meaningful. And so, you feel very fortunate and very humbled, because not a lot of people get a chance to sit on a podium that's just a little higher than everybody else's, and all of a sudden their flag's a little bit higher than everybody else's in your country, and now they're playing your national anthem. Yeah. I don't know how you beat that.
For us, I guess the national championship games we've been in is ours. For me and our team, that's kind of our moment, our version of that. And he's been through many moments with, in the NHL and in that game. And I think that game was probably got to be one of his top moments of his life, I'm assuming, in winning that.
That was the shot in the arm, that was the boost, that was the opening of doors for not just that team, but everyone, other American that followed. So I grew up in a family where all of us played hockey. I was the oldest one. But we played ball hockey in the basement, and there were 4 of us that could play at that time.
4 boys?
And 3 boys and my sister Cammie. And we used to be Stan Mikita and Bobby Hull and Tony Esposito, and then we changed to Jim Craig, Mike Eruzione, Mark Johnson, and whoever else from the so that instantly became heroes. Absolutely, they were guys that were on February 3rd or whatever, when they got to Lake Placid, a bunch of college kids, and on February 26th or whatever, and when they were celebrating their gold medal thing, they were, people that you respected and idolized, and were blessed to have watched, experience, and to accomplish what they did.
Was it a miracle?
Was it? Yeah. In the moment, yeah. Probably.
Right.
But, you're a hockey guy. You look back and say, okay, who was on that team? Neil Broughton, Mark Pavlich, Kenny Moore won 4 Stanley Cups. Billy Baker, Mike Ramsey played 18 years in the National Hockey League. Oh, they had some pretty good players.
You got Mark Johnson and Eruzione and the team celebrating after they beat the Russians. I got pictures and stuff all over my office and house of that event that will always be in my house and office. And
Rammer and O'Callaghan are coming together. They collide. One falls down, and just this celebration is just it's special.